welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Hayley and I'm part of the regional team in Southern Counties, which is part of Baptist Together. Whoa, what a week. This week has been really interesting. I tried to do a kind of, like I used to, like take the camera along with me, film different parts. But that becomes really difficult within the pastoral nature of regional ministry. So this style seems to be working for this season. So keep tuned, and the style may change again. Who knows? Who knows? Well, this week has been a slight whirlwind. I know you've not seen my new living room. We're in my new living room with some wonderful Toy Story artwork in the background, which is great. So this week has been like the two extremes of my personality, of who I am, and my ministry. So it is August, it's very nearly September, and work has been full on. Not in a negative way, not too busy, but just full. And when things are full, it's good to take time for your own well-being, your own spirituality, your own space. So I'm very aware that most Christians, most ministers, when they get to a point of, oh, it's been really full, I need to go and ground myself, I need to go and reconnect, well, they'll go off to a retreat somewhere. They'll go to Iona, they'll go to Northumbria community. Well, that's not me. So I managed to get a last minute deal for a Disney cruise leaving from Southampton. Never done a cruise before. I'm not sure I'd do a cruise leaving from Southampton again. It was literally a weekend. It was 3 nights. It was enough. I was on the Disney Dream, and I got enough Disney magic to fill my tank until next time I'm out in Florida, which is amazing. Florida trip to come next year. It was really, really good. And I can tick it off the list. I've done it, but it was so good. And it just gave me an opportunity to look after my well-being, do something that I enjoy and I love. So here are some highlights of a Disney cruise. When I got back from the cruise, it was straight back into full-on ministry. I had dinner with some friends, my minister and his wives, Dave and Carol, invited me around for dinner, which was great. So just nice relaxing with them. Then I visited one of our RAF chaplains. So he's based in one of the bases in Hampshire. So I went to visit him, which was great. It's really good to see how God is moving in military chaplaincy and the challenges and the joys that he faces. And I got to meet his Methodist colleague as well, which was amazing. I then, the next day, went off to visit another chaplain. This chaplain is at a women's prison. So I went from Disney cruise to RAF base to women's closed prison. And again, just hearing how God is moving in that space, the challenges, the joys of ministering in a hard place, but a thin place. God moves, and it was amazing to see. It was amazing to see how this minister is just holding the space for the prison population and the staff, and being Jesus's hands and feet in a really difficult place. There is often in churches you get people that are struggling with mental ill health and the worries. You go into a prison chaplaincy placement like that, and it is just absolutely 10 times what you would face in a local church. It's interesting that both the RAF chaplain and the prison chaplain reflected with me on, back in the day, people used to say, well, if you can't cope in church ministry, then you go into chaplaincy. Chaplaincy back in the day had a bit of a vibe of an easy gig about it. Friends, what these guys are doing, what these men and women in chaplaincy places are doing, is not easy. It is a specific calling. It is being Jesus's hands and feet when you are most definitely not welcome. It's about working with people where they are at, caring about their whole selves and bringing God into that. It's about walking with people in the most painful and trauma-related times, both in military chaplaincy and in prison chaplaincy, holding that in your heart and placing it before God. And that is so challenging, so exhausting. And so I've always loved chaplains. They've always done a role that I could never do. And when I get to spend time with chaplains, I am just so grateful that they are representing our Baptist movement, representing Jesus in those spaces. And I am full of admiration for all that they do. So if you're a chaplain and you're watching this, you guys are absolutely amazing. Shout out, just keep doing, keep shining, keep being you, and I am cheering you on and praying for you. If you are not a chaplain but you know a chaplain, reach out to them, tell them that you're praying for them, just encourage them. And if you're watching this and you've been part of that brigade that thought, chaplaincy is an easy gig, go and visit your local chaplaincy, hang out for coffee, hear their story. Get some perspective. Learn from each other. So that was that, and that was absolutely great. I then went into Didcot. Our Southern Counties offices are in Didcot, so I spent the day working there, and my colleague Simon was working on Thursday as well, so we were getting bits and bobs done. Claire's got another month of her sabbatical left, so the office is cleaner. And I'm just embracing the office being tidier than it's going to be in October, which is lovely. I then ended up in Greenbelt. Greenbelt is a Christian festival on a campsite. Right. So where I get my encouragement, where I get my refreshment, where I feel at one with God, is a Disney cruise, right? And I have to admit, I got a really good deal, so I went concierge, which meant everything was pimped up, treated like royalty. So last Saturday, I woke up and bumped into Goofy and Tiana. Then this Saturday, I was on a muddy, wet field in Kettering. And what I found is everyone who loves camping, everyone who's sold out on that kind of thing, what they do is go, when it's raining and muddy, they go, it's not normally like this. It's normally lovely. But it's not, is it? It's wet and it's damp and it's muddy and it's horrible. I only went for the day, so I did not sleep in a tent. I didn't go anywhere near that level of cringe. I was there, so you're probably thinking, why the heck were you there? I wasn't there just to judge. I also I was asked to be part of a panel discussion. The panel was on dreaming of a diverse church, and can the church truly hold diversity? And the URC, the United Reformed Church, hosted this panel space, and so it was really, really good to do the panel. So here are some snapshots. Recorded audibly, just the audio. I really struggle with that. Just the audio was recorded. If I can find that, I'll put the link below. If not, apologies. I'll try and put it out on my socials when I know where that is. It was really interesting. So it was a good discussion. We all came from slightly different places. But ultimately we all believe that the church can hold difference. In a divided world, we can be united in Christ even if we disagree. One of the questions I was asked was about red lines, and what are the red lines? And that's an interesting one. And as I've pondered on that, and as I reflected in the session, I think our red lines are based on our privilege, right? So because I sit from a certain privileged position, I have a different red line, maybe, to someone who doesn't hold the same privileges as me in this space. And so it was really good to reflect on that. Everyone that came up to me afterwards and I got to connect with, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for your encouragement. And thank you for sharing your stories with me. One of the things I'm always taken back by is the utter encouragement and privilege I get from just hearing your stories. Thank you for trusting me with them. For some, there's a lot in sharing, and being in the position I'm in, I get to hear your stories and hold them and pray for you. And thank you so much for trusting me with that. And please know, I do pray for you all, that you will encounter Christ and God in all his fullness, and that you will fully be able to exercise ministry in church, whatever boundaries people have put on you. I pray that you will be able to exercise ministry and mission and find a home. That's my prayer. I'm also really struck with the Project Violet as that is gaining momentum, and more people are speaking about that. I'm hearing more and more women's stories again of just not being able to fulfill their calling. And yeah, thank you for sharing those with me, and I hold them closely, and I hold them before God. So that's been this week. If you want to keep up to date, follow me on any of my socials. Please do give this video a like. Please do subscribe. Yeah, from Disney cruise to campsite. It's been a week. Thank you. You've been you. I've been me. It's been great to share this with you, and I will see you next time.